General Big Joe, and I want to talk about the jab, the stiff jab, because the way I see, when I see young generation and young fighter using the jab, often they're confusing all the various jab, thinking that every jab are the same and every jab have the same purpose. While it is not, every jab have not the same purpose. And so to not make that video too long that it should be, I'm just gonna focus on the stiff jab. You see, and I'm talking to puncher right now because I know the stiff jab is the one that every puncher use because that's the stiff jab. So the stiff jab is the basic one. The really simple one, basics, a bit similar like those practice in karate, really straight, boom, no fancy at all, but really effective. What is that for? I mean, stiff jab have only one purpose. I mean, two purposes, sorry. The first purpose is physically break the opponent, like inflicting pain. The second purpose is set up a room for fear in his mind. Because when you get hit by a strong stiff jab, boom, boom, believe me, you can doubt, you can fear the opponent, you can fear to release your whole you because you don't want to expose yourself. You see, because you know now what may come. And so now you're really carefully moving forward your opponent, not getting too much risk. And sometimes thinking that way can break down the whole fight. So the stiff jab have those two purposes because when the right time comes, now you can take advantage of it. When you face beginners, it's fine. Opportunity shows up all the time. But the more you move up, the more you start having exchange, physical exchange, sparring session or fight with experimented fighter, believe me, the opportunity, the open window starts to become rare. Because when you fight an experimented fighter, the gap of mistakes is really, really tight. Often, experimented fighter do a few or no mistake at all. So stiff jab, it's only when you know that now you want to hit hard. The stiff jab is for every kind of combat sport. You can use it if you're in karate. You can use it if you're in kickboxing. You can use it if you're in full contact. You can use it if you're in MMA. You can use it if you're in Muay Thai. You see, boxing comes from martial art. So as I said, it looks like really similar like the jab we do in karate. Really similar, but in a different way. Karate, they hit by the back, when us in jab we hit, but with the hands up. You can see that the way we threw the jab is the same. It's really straight. Boom. Boom. Karate throw straight like that, and us we throwing straight like this. Boom. Boom. So every kind of sports can use it. Often I see boxers, Western country practice box, you relying on the legs, precisely on the foot part of the legs to perform the stiff jab. When in reality, the stiff jab, we don't rely on the foot, but we rely on the hips. But often they make the stiff jab relying on foot. But let me be clear, by doing that, you're exposing yourself to multiple risks. The risk of inflammation at the level of your tendon, joint, at the level of your ankle, but also your knees. You're also exposed to muscle tiredness. That's the first reason why when combat sport athletes all the time try to looking for power, we say the first thing that gets exhausting at the very first are the low body part muscle, meaning everything down the low back. It means normally you shouldn't rely on the legs, meaning this, they are knocking the foot on the ground to try to generate power. It's reminding me of the fight that I had with Tony Yoka. When he faced me, he was generating his jab power with his feet knocking the ground, meaning bah, 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 bah. But even that, I can tell. I can feel the shock coming back, firing back on my low back. You're generating power, yes, but you're also creating trauma at the tendon and ligament of your joint of your ankle, knees, and also all the chokes firing back on your low back, meaning you can have some low back pain through time. So the things you want to do is not using the calf, not using your foot, but you want to use your hips. Look, boom. You see, boom, boom. The hips. The hips is the center of your whole body. That's the part that's helping you to create rotational movements. You know what I mean? But Western country boxers use the foot and the rotation of the shoulder. You see the rotation of the shoulder. We think using the hips, so, but they don't use the hips. Well, in reality, look at me. I don't turn my shoulder. I turn my hips. Boom. You see, I didn't turn my shoulder. My shoulder stays straight. You see, but now I come, boom, boom. So same thing with the jab. Fa, 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 fa. Hips, nothing else. The hips. Mwah, mwah, mwah. The second part is the way the shoulder have to be positioned. Your shoulder doesn't have to stay on the top. Your shoulder have to be connected with the core. So the more lower they are, the more it is. And people are gonna say like, "No, what the fuck are you talking about?" Because normally when you have to protect the chin, right? But the chin are not protected because you lift your shoulder on the top. They are protected because you're putting your chin down. And now, you see, my shoulder are lower, but they protect my chin. So now if I hit, look, I'm protected. I don't need to lift my shoulder on the top to be protected. But just putting it down and getting them loose help me to not waste too much stamina for nothing. Because you want to waste the stamina performing an attack on your opponent, not on you when you're on your own position. And many athletes right now, when they take the position to shoot the jab, they leave the shoulder to the top, so they look tense. That part of tension get them even mentally tense. And what's happening is they start losing too much stamina there. They get too much contract that they need to relax the muscle. At some point, they cannot even fire anymore with all the power because they're already exhausted. So what you want to have your shoulder oriented down. So I think it's all about shoulder down, hitting like a screwdriver. Your fists have to turn, not stay straight, have to turn. Because when you turn completely, when you can create the rotation completely with your fist, it's gonna contract the whole muscle of the arms. Having your shoulder down also, you see, it's gonna protect your shoulder until the level of your cheek. Now, when you're straight like this, you see, it doesn't protect your cheek. But when you're like this, the back of your shoulder now protects your cheek. So look, boom, boom, boom. It's not about being fast because it's a technique based on strength and not based on speed. You see, the snap jab, wah, wah, is based on speed. The stiff jab, boom, boom, is based on strength. So it's not about getting fast. It's about hitting on the right timing. So I hope that you like it. And if you want to learn more about the stiff jab, if you want to understand how to perform correctly the movement and when to do it and how to do and how to understand the role of timing into it and not confuse timing with speed, I mean, you know where to find me. On my school community, Success Army Online Training Camp. That's it, you got it. Now go on it and find me. If you need anything on the community, you can write it and I will reply to it directly, all right? Hope that you enjoy it. Was Big Joe. Success Army, a matter of principle.